The year is 2023. PBS Plus has just launched, bringing the world's streaming services to 4,387. How can anyone be expected to go through all this content? Fear not, loyal passengers. Captain Joe Shoes and his first mate Mez are here to travel through space and time to bring you the best nuggets pop culture has to offer. Strap in. It's time for the JoeMeZ podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 355 of the JoeMeZ podcast. I'm Mez, and my co-host, as always, is
the magistrate of Caravan City. I'm Joe from the JoeMeZ podcast.
Yeah, you are. What up?
Oh, Gomez, what a week. Happy belated 4th of July.
Yes, 4th of July has passed. It was a fun evening full of food and fireworks.
I had a great time. I indulged in many Pabst Blue Ribbons, the only beer, Gomez, that stays red, white, and blue all year round. If you don't love Pabst, you don't love America. Pabst Blue Ribbon, the official beer of the 4th of July.
That's right. I love it. Oh, I drink them all the time. They're the best.
I drink them all year round, not just the 4th of July. I drink them the 9th of July and the 17th of August and the 21st of March. All great days for Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Oh, is 4th of your job don't give a lot of holidays. 4th of July, is that a holiday you get, right? That's a big one. Oh, well, yeah.
I'm salary now, so I get like normal holidays, like a real person now.
Nice. Okay, because I know you always like, it's not a holiday for me.
No, usually the 4th of July just would have been a Tuesday. But you know what it is now? A goddamn holiday brought to you by Pabst Blue Ribbon.
What a day.
Oh, it's the best kind of day. The holiday.
I love holidays. Who don't love a holiday?
Oh man, we should get so many more of them.
Well, they are, right? Like they have these, like every day is a day, right? So technically, it's ice cream day. It's chocolate chip cookie day.
For that? Like National Siblings Day. Like not like I'm gonna go visit my brother or anything, but like give me the day off.
I'll send him a text as long as we communicate, right?
He's in the group chat. I don't even have to send him a direct text.
Just yo. That's it. Could be to anyone.
Thank you guys for listening to the JoeMeZ podcast. Remember to hit that subscribe button, leave a 5-star review wherever it is that you're listening to us. Follow us on all the social media at JoeMeZ. And if and when you leave a review, screenshot it to us and tweet it. If you're allowed to not hit your limit on Twitter, tweet it to us at JoeMeZ, and we will send you an autographed 8x10 as a thank you. How about that, Gomez? Have you exceeded your rate limit?
So far, so good. Saturday was the terrible day. What a terrible day. I just wanted to read some tweets. There was wrestling going on. I want to read some tweets, bro.
I've never heard about a website that says, no, spend less time here.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
I can't imagine. I think, like, this guy's supposed to be a fucking genius, right? And you look at it and you go, if this is what he thinks is a good idea, maybe the government needs to get involved in like actually checking out what his fucking rockets do, because
they blow up. That's what
like do. This is the thing. Like, if this is what he thinks is a good business practice, I can't imagine what he's doing with less oversight.
Bro, I mean, when Twitter is working, what do you see? Tweets about Teslas running people over and just blowing up in the driveway, bro. What does he do? He's a mess.
Like
everything he touches.
Look, I'm sure he's like mental level smart. Like, you don't get to be like, I understand it's not like he made his own money. That's family money. I get that.
Blood diamonds, baby.
Yeah, it's blood diamonds. We get that. But to be like I can't build a fucking rocket. You know what I mean? Like, he must know something. But it's obviously not enough.
Not enough, bro. Oh my! Are you excited for the cage match with Mark Zuckerberg?
This the big fight. Oh boy, what a joke! Come on.
I almost made a comment that was very disrespectful to certain people, and I watched my tongue and I kept it in here.
Look
So
at
you can think about what might Joe have said. I'll never tell you. Hopefully, I'll forget by then. But it was pretty bad.
Oh my goodness! Do you think people would actually buy that if that was a UFC show? Is that getting buys? Is that one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year? Are people actually going to spend money on that shit?
No, I mean,
right? I can't imagine.
I think that depending on like what's considered a good buy rate. Like, will 1,000 people buy it? Yeah, I'm sure there's 1,000 people out there that would buy it.
So I'll say like a good buy rate, right? It's like 250,000, right? Like
no
at
shot.
least 100,000. No shot, right? I don't think so.
I would think like, what kind of buy rates did Howard Stern's Butt Bango Bonanza do in the 90s? Because that would have been huge in my mind. Or the Jerry Springer Too Hot for TV pay-per-views in the 90s, where you didn't have the option of downloading it off a torrent site a day later.
Oh, man.
Those are the kind of pay-per-views that I think would have done bang-up numbers. And I can't see a Mark Zuckerberg versus this guy, Egon, doing a big fucking buy rate.
Oh, UFC, we don't do freak show fights. And he's running to put this one.
Yeah, and we got 3 CM Punk fights.
Oh, he says it all the time, and then he puts together the fight that makes no sense. He's gotten so bad with his lying because like now it don't matter if you lie right no more, right?
Yeah.
So he just be like, say one thing at one press conference, 5 minutes later, be like, I never said that. What are you?
And then he goes on Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan goes, "No, you never. I don't know why these people say that.
Fucking media, they're out to get you. They just hate you, bro. Oh, what a joke."
When did Joe Rogan become like the voice of society?
I don't know. I used to like listening to his podcast. He would just get high with a friend.
He was just some pothead who was like a comedian, and he happened to do this. Like, when did he become like this guy? He just found a gimmick and was like, "Oh shit, there's a bunch of these MAGA asshats who are making money off this shit. Let me lean into it."
I guess, but he picks and chooses. Like, he'll say something totally against everything they stand for, and then 10 minutes later be like, just all the PowerPoints,
Yeah, fuck vaccines.
Like, it's like, it makes no sense. So it's like, he don't know. He's just one of these people, right? Whatever makes the bucks. He got $1 billion from Spotify.
Yeah, I know.
So, like,
give us a fucking fraction of that. We're on Spotify. We've got like 13 reviews. Get us up to 15 reviews on Spotify, 5 stars, and maybe they'll give us a piece of that scratch.
Yes, and we'll just say things like, the Hulk is horny. Oh, that's the craziest we get. We don't say crazy stuff.
We can talk about the Hulk being horny for hours.
That's it. That's it.
JoeMeZ, this past week, I did an episode of the Captain's Log about myself where I spoke for 3 hours.
I meant to ask how'd that go. Awesome, bro.
If you like to listen to me talk about me, then I guess it went fine.
It sounds great, bro. They're usually not that long. That means
we usually go an hour, because we're borrowing people's time, when we have guests. I got nothing to do, so
you guys pay for it, so why not come hang out with shoes? Oh, I love it.
But I did use some time this week to catch up on a lot of stuff, JoeMeZ, and the first thing is on Netflix. We spoke about it a couple weeks ago, but I finished watching the Arnold Schwarzenegger 3-part docuseries.
Oh, how was that, baby?
It's very enjoyable.
Good. That's good.
It's Arnold telling Arnold stories. They do talk about the affair with how he has the other kid, and so that stuff was there. And he does sound somewhat sincerely remorseful about the way the situation was handled. Sure. But he comes off, he's a star, man. Like, that's fucking star.
He is a star.
When you see him, you talk, and the whole time for all 3 episodes of this thing, he's got this fucking unlit cigar in his mouth when they're doing the in-house interviews. And I'm like, fuck, that's what I need to do. I just
You
need
should.
to chomp on the cigar everywhere I go.
It's not a bad look.
No, right?
I think it works.
I think it'll work with me.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to see it in action. I'm excited.
I'll
now.
be in True Lies too. Electric Sugarloo.
You know, they made a CBS show of True Lies. I believe it's been canceled already.
No,
But I think this past season they tried to make a TV version of it.
well, you know, since this writer's strike is going to go on for a long time, we'll have plenty of time to revisit all the content we've missed.
I'm making lists. Sons of Anarchy gonna finally get on
Never
there.
watched it.
I need a I hear good things, so we got some time. Why not?
I did watch a whole new show though this week.
Whoa, what's going on here, Joe? All right,
I was on Max watching the latest episode of Righteous Gemstones, which was
So
wonderful.
good. Good.
And it recommended a new show to me called The Idol.
Oh my god, you fucking watched this show, bro?
I watched The
ask
Idol.
if you heard of it.
Not only have I heard of it, JoeMeZ, I am up to date. I think it was 4 episodes so far.
It's done
It
now.
stars The Weeknd and Johnny Depp's daughter, Lily Rose Depp, I believe is her name. So she's like a pop star. And at first, as I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, this is like trying to be like a darker version of Entourage.
Oh yeah,
like it's supposed to be like that celebrity life, but like
sure, yes, he's trying to get famous,
gritty.
Yeah.
And then it continues going on, and I'm not really feeling it. Like there's enough happening where I keep watching, and Hank Azaria is in it.
Yes,
and he plays.
He is, yeah.
Like I don't like Hank Azaria.
He's the best, yeah.
And The Weeknd is actually very, very good in his role. He's such a fucking scumbag. But then as I'm doing a little reading about this show, it turns out that there are some theories out there
that who this might be about. Yeah.
They think it's all based on Selena Gomez.
Yes, I've seen lots of videos. It seems like it might be.
And they're calling it The Weeknd's fan fiction about Selena Gomez, which sounds fucking terrible. Because there is some shit in this show that is fucking terrible.
Oh my god. How you liking them sex scenes, Joe? I hear there's something.
It's done. I am not someone who shies away from sex stuff, right? They call me the Sultan of sex words out on the streets.
That's it.
And I'm watching this going, oh, but what the fuck?
I love it. That's what I've been hearing. I wanted to see if you've been hearing about it. I was going to bring up, maybe we should watch an episode or two. I love it. You got all in there.
I watched 4 episodes, like back to back, because now I'm like, well, I got to see what happens next.
I believe there's only one episode. There's 5 episodes. I think that's
okay.
One more. So it came out just this past week. You got to catch up.
And they've
tell me how it ends.
They've been doing weekly episodes. So now I'm going to have to check this out. I got to finish at this point.
You got to finish.
Because so the whole deal is to mirror Selena Gomez, this girl in the story. She was a child star, overbearing mother. In this case, however, in the show, the mother dies. So now the girl, who is like a pop singer now, they're trying to turn her into like the bad girl. She's dirty. She moans on her tracks.
Oh, my goodness. That's a Selena thing.
But that's exactly it.
Yeah.
And now she's like trying to come back because she had to cancel her tour because she had some mental health issues after the death of her mother. Selena had to cancel a tour.
Wait a minute.
So now it's just like this guy who The Weeknd plays. He's like a club promoter who meets the girl Jocelyn at his club, but she was like brought there on purpose. This was all like a big plan to get her into the club so he could like seduce her. But like he kind of takes over her life and becomes like a pimp and like controlling and this whole, it's fucking wild. But like once you find out that this is possibly about a real person, you're like, oh my God, someone go check on Selena Gomez.
Poor Selena Gomez.
No, like whatever happens in this show, it does not happen naturally. Not naturally.
Oh man. That is funny. I have been interested because it's been the talk of Twitter. When Twitter is working, people are just like, "What is this show?" Like it
So
is
every
something else.
episode, if you go to like IMDb, you know how they have their ratings for like each
Yeah,
episode. Well, I've been checking lately because I every now and then I'll go to like Righteous Gemstones and be like, oh, who's this
yeah,
person? Who's
sure.
this actor playing this character in this episode? They look familiar. And I always look that stuff up. So I'll be seeing stuff like, oh, this episode's rated 7.7. This one's 8.2. And Righteous Gemstones has some high ratings for their episodes. When I go to the Idol, it's like 3.6,
Yeah, people are like,
4.1.
just like, what the fuck is this? They talk about the dialogue. It's just,
Bro, it's not a good show, but it's a car crash. Like you can't turn away from it.
hey, it's got people talking, right? That's all that matters.
Yeah.
People are
And
talking
you're gonna
about
watch it now because
100%. I've been hearing
you,
about it. I've been thinking of it.
you gotta check this shit out.
Oh man, what's the name of the show again, Joe?
The Idol
The Idol on HBO on Max. Excuse me.
on Max.
Sorry, on Max. Is this a Max original? Or is this actually on HBO? Is this a
I
fucking
honestly don't know.
I gotta
It came
see
up
that.
on my suggestions after I watched this week's episode of Righteous Gemstones. It's like you may also like Vice Principals or The
You
Idol.
may also like. Oh, I think it's an actual HBO series. Wow, that's on HBO, bro. Crazy. Oh, let me see. Who is this? This is someone. Oh, this The Weeknd like wrote this, I believe, right? So this is
Yes,
Weeknd.
that's so he used to
And
date
then
Selena.
yeah.
So they're calling this show like his fan fiction of Selena Gomez.
So it's him and then the writer of the guy who does Euphoria. So he got
Euphoria, yeah.
okay, so that's why it's an HBO thing, of course. All right. Euphoria is crazy, bro. I don't love it, but it's an entertaining to watch because them kids be crazy. Them white girls crazy out there. It's fun. I think you would enjoy it.
I've never watched an episode. I mean, we've got plenty of time coming up, so I guess I will be able to check it out.
You got plenty of time, bro. Come on. I can't wait to see what crazy ass shit we end up watching. It's like, hey, let's watch Weird Science from the 90s.
Why not? Parker
Why
Lewis
not?
can't lose.
Exactly. Just some wild shit we're gonna be watching.
The Single Guy with Jonathan Silverman.
Oh, I wish. That's a good one.
Herman's Head.
Oh, and Single Guy's not around, right? That's hard to find, right?
Single Guy is hard to find. It's not on
Oh,
any streaming thing. I've been looking.
I gotta find that for you guys. All right.
And Herman's Head. Please find
And
Herman's Head.
Okay, I'll look for the both. You got it, baby.
For whatever reason, I remember Herman's Head being a lot of fun. Like, I can't tell you anything about it except that the main character is the guy who played the Sandman in Spider-Man 3. Like, My Chemical Spider-Man, you know, like that one.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. That's the best one.
But the guy who played the Sandman, was that Herman's Head or am I thinking of another show?
I think you're thinking of another show. I
Whatever
remember
the show I'm thinking of is, then that's the one I want. Go find it.
You got it. I'm on the case. You got it, boss.
For whatever now it's in my head is Dharma and Greg, and I'm like, I don't want to watch Dharma and
Greg. But he looks kind of like that guy. He has that same kind of
hair.
It's the hair.
Yeah.
It's the hair, and even just like it's just the stereotypical.
That was like that 90s like
white guy 90s white
like,
guy.
We wear a sport coat with no tie look, you know.
Yes, 100%. That's so funny. I didn't watch a new series, but I watched a new movie. I watched a sequel to this horror movie that came out a couple years ago called Becky. It's about a young girl who meets up with some neo-Nazis, gets tangled up in there, and she turns into like, oh yeah, you fuck with me, and then she goes and kills them all. It's very exciting. Kevin James was a Nazi, was like with the main character Nazi guy. So it was like crazy to see.
I like how you theme this episode because we'll be talking a lot more about Nazis later on.
Oh, yes. So in the sequel, now she's killed the Nazis, she's doing her thing, and she comes across like a Proud Boys kind of group. that
Poor girl
gets
got no
mixed
love.
up.
Poor Becky.
She got no poor Becky got no love. They come and they steal a dog, and so now
And we know what happens when you steal someone's dog because we've all seen John Wick.
So she gets crazy, does a lot of killing. The main Proud Boy guy in this one is Stifler, Sean William Scott. Nice to see him doing.
God, he finally got something to do. He's in a commercial now with Jason Biggs.
Really?
Like Jason Biggs, I want to say it's like a DoorDash commercial. But like Jason Biggs is throwing a house party, so he goes to like answer the door to pick up like the guys delivering his stuff, and he goes, "Oh, thanks, man. This is gonna be the best summer ever." But what you don't see is Stifler is right behind the delivery guys. Like, this is gonna be the best summer ever, and you didn't even invite me. What about the summer we spent together? And then like he just like invades the party and does Stifler stuff and like makes like a reference. He like steals the ice cream and is like, "Oh, this is the second best thing I've had in my mouth."
I love Stifler. It's great to see him getting some work.
He's so good. You ever seen Dude, Where's My Car? What a movie.
He's great in this one. He does his little creepy stuff. He's great. He's great. Movie's fun. I don't love the movie, but the movie's fun. There's some great kills. Good time. This is on VOD. You got to pay for it right now.
Is this just Becky too?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's called The Wrath of Becky. I'm sorry. This one's The Wrath of Becky. Yeah, it played a little bit in movie theaters, a couple nights, but pretty much VOD, and we'll see where it drops this summer. It's worth it if you're into horror. I mentioned
a lot of our fans are.
I know. I love it. This is why we watch horror movies. It's why I make you watch horror movies, because the fans want it, bro.
I love the genre.
Listen, when you love a movie, you love a movie. You've seen some movies you love, so it's okay. You do.
Yeah, I have. I've seen some good ones. There is just not a lot of them.
I can't wait. This year, Joe, you're going to see a Saw movie in the movie theaters. I'm so excited.
I've seen all the Saw I need to see. Saw it.
No. There's nothing like experiencing it on the big screen. I know people don't go to the movies where you live, so you'll be by yourself. But if there's one or two people in there going, "Oh my God, don't put your hand in there," it makes it even better.
Not a lot of people went to the movies this weekend, Gomez. Indiana Jones obviously topped the box office, but everyone's going nuts because it's only $60 million. Now I'm sitting there going, $60 million sounds like a solid opening for an Indiana Jones movie where the target audience is 40 plus.
Yes, this is for us.
How many people 18 to 34 that you think grew up with Indiana Jones when Raiders of the Lost Ark is 40 years old?
Hell no. I'm sure there's a couple of them, your kids, watch the movies that you show them, but I don't see them. No, they don't care. It's too old.
Spider-Man still in number 2, 11.5 million was the number 2 movie this week.
It's crazy though. That's been out that's God bless. This movie's the best.
And The Flash dropped all the way to number 8.
That was crazy. That had no staying power.
None
even with the
whatsoever.
Word of mouth being, "Hey, it's not so bad."
Yeah,
and didn't matter. People were like, "Yeah, I don't give a fuck."
Yep.
It's crazy.
Just under 100 million now, still, but it came in 8th this week, right behind Little Mermaid, still ahead of it.
The problem with the $60 million is that they spend $300 million on these fucking movies. That's the problem. Can we stop making $500 million movies, bro? Like, what are we doing?
Because what are you expecting to make in return off that?
Exactly.
If the budget is, and I believe it was the pre-marketing budget of Indiana Jones is $295 million.
Yes. So
where do you think you're going to make back what? Just break even? That's your plan?
What's a best case scenario? It makes like 90 million, 100 opening weekend, but then it's gonna slowly get to
it drops 50% the next weekend. So now you made 150. You're still
crawling
of the budget.
Crawling to that budget. I don't get it, and I don't know where all the money goes in this movie. I don't know how expensive the CGI things are. Like, I don't know.
Let's talk about Indiana Jones right now. We're in the middle of it. Because we got something else we could put in the main event spot. Big 100%.
Time. Yes.
But let's talk a little bit about Indiana Jones, because this is the Dial of Destiny, I'm coming in here with low expectations. You and I
Sure.
both said we like Indiana Jones,
Yeah, it's
but it's
great.
not like we're clamoring for more
No,
Indiana Jones at this point, especially after the
no.
last one, which was
Yes.
not very good.
Yes.
And you think about it and you go, well, what else could we possibly get out of an Indiana Jones movie?
Yeah, I agree.
But we get this movie now. This is the first time Steven Spielberg has not directed an Indiana Jones movie. We get James Mangold this time, who has done these legacy characters
he's
before. He
good.
did the Logan movie, which a lot
He's
of
fine.
people like.
Yes.
I am not one of them, but a lot of people like Logan, and I get that. Spielberg did stay on as EP, though, and apparently really liked the movie himself. It's 2.5 hours. It's the longest Indiana Jones movie ever. And trust me when I say it feels like a 2.5 hour movie.
That's the biggest complaint I have about the movie is it did not need to be as long. You could have trimmed some of those set pieces by 5 minutes each, and it's getting tighter already. So, yeah, you feel it.
So right off the bat, IMDb, archaeologist Indiana Jones races against time to retrieve a legendary artifact that can change the course of history. Very vague.
That could be the IMDb
for every single
every
Indiana
one
Jones.
of those movies. That's hysterical, but it's perfect. Without giving too much away, yes, perfect. That's the perfect description, 100%.
So one of the biggest complaints I'm seeing about this movie is basically the first act is a time period piece where we are back 30 years in time, and Indiana Jones is CGI down to look younger in that time period. A lot of people are complaining about the way it looked, the same way they complained about the CGI in The Flash. Once again, did not bother me. A lot of it was shot in a nighttime setting, so it doesn't appear to be as visible or stand out as much. Didn't bother me. How do you feel about it?
It didn't bother me, but there were times where you could tell. Basically, it's the same thing with like The Mandalorian, right? It looks great when you're just standing there and you're saying a few lines, but once you start moving and doing something, then that's when the CGI starts falling apart because it's hard to keep that face, so it just turns into a CGI guy.
And I feel like what we get out of this movie once we're like get going is just your basic Indiana Jones movie.
100%.
Indiana Jones gets sucked into a mission. Maybe he wants to, maybe he doesn't want to. Either way, he's going to, but he's this old grizzled man who's basically searching for relevance in a world that has changed on him.
Sure, 100%. We get old man Indy trying to one last mission missing something out of life, maybe this will be it.
And we get his goddaughter, Helena, who's played by Phoebe Waller-Bridge. And you think like, oh, this is like him passing the torch. And what I got out of this movie, I got some big Top Gun Maverick vibes out of this movie, where it's like we bring this legacy character back, and now we're going to pass the torch. And we still got like that same thing, like I just said, like the old man searching for relevance, amongst the younger people. Yeah. Same thing, Top Gun, Indiana Jones, and they go on their things together, and you prove that like, hey, we still need this old guy. Like he still has a lot of value. We need him to be here. And you figure it's just going to set up like the future of the franchise. He's going to pass it off, hand over the torch, and kind of exit stage left while this person takes over. And we don't necessarily get that.
No, not really. It's not like the last one where they're like trying to do that with Shia LaBeouf, where they're like, hey, would you want to see a movie with this guy? Would you? Definitely don't do that in this one.
And in this movie, they go now and kill off Shia LaBeouf.
He's dead. He's fucking
apparently
dead.
Following the story of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, he enlisted for the army or some kind of military branch for the Vietnam War and was killed in action.
Crazy, bro.
And this has led Dr. Jones and Marion to get divorced because they didn't know how to handle their grief, and it split them apart. I get that. But we've gotten rid of this character that was universally hated, which may be more important.
that's the only nice thing about the previous Indiana Jones Crystal Skull is because it has like a nice happy ending. He gets the girl, his son, even though we don't like the son, but his son is there. Like Indy gets his family, he gets his knife, and boy, they just tore that shit apart to make this new movie, bro. So crazy, huh?
And we get our expedition movie. We got Mads Mikkelsen playing Dr. Voller here.
Best.
Who was terrific. There's a lot of good
Love
performance. There's a lot to like about this movie.
Yes, I like the movie. I thought it's fun. It's a fun Indiana Jones movie. Like you said, it's an Indiana Jones movie.
If you are an Indiana Jones fan, there is nothing for you. You will not walk out of this movie going, oh, that sucked. I can't possibly imagine people walking out saying that. I really can't.
I can't. You might not love it, but it's like, it was fine. It was fun. You know, there was some things. I thought some of the set pieces were a lot of fun. I thought the beginning was fun. It went on a little long, but, you know, it was fun. Escaping the Nazis, the thing on the train. I thought that was really cool.
You know, it's an odd number Indiana Jones movie, so they all involve Nazis, 1, 3, and 5. And those are the best ones, the ones with the Nazis.
That's why it's true. The Nazis, they make for good enemies, bro.
They make for great enemies.
Always stealing artifacts. Like, that's perfect for Indiana Jones.
You know, and then going back to my Maverick comparison, like I said, it doesn't, you're not setting up for the future of the franchise, which is what you think you're getting when you go into this movie. Same thing I thought I was going to get out of Top Gun. But instead we gave our legacy hero like a last hurrah, a last victory. And like you said, Indy got his happy ending at the end of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Well, we get that here. And instead of thinking like he's going to be killed off, we get like a nice goodbye, not in death, but like in a peaceful retirement.
Sure, it does. It seems like maybe things will be all right for this old man. It does. It's nice. I like it. I'm telling you, I'm a fan. I left it going, you know, that's a good movie. It was it was long, but it was good. You know, there's 3 major things, and I thought they're all fun. Again, long, but you know, I thought the parade stuff, the horse in the subway, you know, that's cool.
Mine was the car chase scene in Morocco. I'm like, we couldn't cut anything off this.
Yes, the Morocco, that was fun too. But it's like, all right, how many times we're gonna go down? How much we're gonna go down the wrong
staircase? We're gonna drive a go-kart down a staircase. Like,
yes, 100%.
I get it. Yes, stairs are inclining or declining depending on which direction you're. I'm aware.
100%. You cut 15, 20 minutes, and I think a lot of people are a lot more happy. Like, oh, that was really fun. That was. Oh, boom, boom, boom. But it drags and it does. You're like, all right, you're looking at your watch, like, all right, you know. So that does. It hampers.
But if you're into the Indiana Jones story, I mean, this has got to be for you. This is right up your alley because as people who like us who are casual Indiana Jones fans, it sounds like you and I are in agreement. We're walking out of there going, yeah, that was a decent time at the movies.
Yes. Anyone who liked Indiana Jones, I would tell you, yeah, go see it. It's Indiana Jones doing what you love on an adventure, trying to bring back stolen artifacts. Come on, bro. It's great.
Now let's get on to another adventure, JoeMeZ. Let's hit the music. Are you a man? A double main man? Are you a man? A triple main man? A man? A quadruple main man? Are you our man? Are you our man?
All right, Joe. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. What are you giving this last Indy movie? We'll see. But Harrison Ford, I mean,
it's got to be.
This is it. This is it for Harrison Ford.
He just turned 81 this week, yes, I believe.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't care how many stunt actors you get. Like, there's still a level of involvement you have to have and preparation. And I look at him and I'm just like, wow, let the man take a nap.
He looks very old. He looks good, but you can tell he
looks good
old.
For 81, but he's still 100%. Fucking 81.
Doing these crazy ass movies. So it's his last hurrah. What are you giving this on the main man standards?
I liked it. Like you said, it was a little bit long. It's not perfect by any means. There are a lot of things that I have little tic-tac issues with. Like at one point, they're walking through a cave and they're swarmed with bugs, yet the bad guys come in through the same cave 2 minutes later, no bugs. That bothered me. I love the underwater scene. I thought was kind of cool when they bring the sea captain back. We got the return of John Rhys Davis as Salah.
Yes, that was cool.
He pops me every time. And once again, you know it's a good Indiana Jones movie if he's in it, because which ones is he in? The
Odd
ones
number.
with the Nazis, the odd numbers ones, 1, 3, and 5. So a lot of times I even like the story around the artifact that we have here. The time travel thing.
I was gonna say that the endings went off the rails a little bit. It's
exactly.
A little much.
Once we go back into when they're just searching for the piece.
Yes.
Like it's great. But the fact that it's got special power, now you could drive through a cloud and end up in, I don't know, 3rd century BC.
Yeah,
you know,
like 802 BC, some shit like that.
Did we need to go to the siege of Syracuse and have Indiana Jones want to live and die there?
It's like, leave me here.
Leave me here so I can hang out with Archimedes.
He don't seem like a good hang. I gotta admit.
I think Archimedes looks a lot more fun than Indiana Jones at this point.
Sure. Well, at this point, I mean, yes, he's an old curmudgeon. He ain't a good time no more.
You know, and then we get a scene at the end, a little happy reunion for Indiana Jones, and Marion gives him the kisses on the parts of his body that aren't in pain, which is a callback to Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, yes.
So I walk out of here going, this was a good time at the movies. I recommend people see it. I'm going to give it a triple main man.
Oh, baby, right there with me. I'm giving it a 3, triple main man. It's good. It's a fine movie. If it was trimmed down, maybe I would give it 3.5. You know, I would bump it up because, like I said, I enjoyed the adventure aspect. I was into it. I was all about, we got to find the other half of this thing here. Where is it? You know, I was into it. Definitely. The villain, Mads, is great. I love that man. He was terrific in my book.
The acting in this movie is very good. All the characters. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I love Mads I'm from Alabama. I love the Nazis that just try to hide. Like, what are you talking? I'm not a Nazi. I'm from Alabama, bro. Leave me alone. So fucking good. I fucking love it.
Oh. But there's a lot to like about this movie. I genuinely think if it was shorter and you felt like it was a little bit tighter, you would have walked out of here going, oh, that was real good.
Yeah. Oh, that was better than I thought. That was really, 100%.
But when I walked out of the theater, someone had texted me. I was like, oh, just got out of Indiana Jones. They're like, what'd you think? I go, it was an Indiana Jones movie. And I think that's the best review you could ask for. If you're an Indiana Jones fan, what kind of movie do you want? I want an Indiana Jones movie. That's like when people say, what kind of He-Man movie do you want? I just want a good He-Man movie, bro. Don't give me a fucking movie that's trying to be some Troy or 300 or one of these whatever barbarian epics. I just want a good He-Man movie. Just give me stuff about He-Man. And in this movie, we got stuff about Indiana Jones. And that should make people happy.
100%. Right there with you. Check it out. I'm sure it'll be on Disney Plus by the end of the summer because it ain't going to be in movie theaters so much longer at this rate, bro.
I mean, nothing really is coming out next week, correct?
This week is Insidious horror movie. It'll make some money. Horror movies usually make money.
30 million.
And then there's an R-rated comedy. I forget what it's called. It's called Joyride. Did you see that trailer with the Asian girls? They go overseas. No. One's adopted. I've seen it a couple times. It looks very funny. We definitely want to see it. It looks like what you think that Jennifer Lawrence movie is. Like this is raunchy, R-rated. One girl's adopted, so she's going overseas to try to meet her adopted family, and she brings the girls with her, and hilarity ensues.
Okay, so let's go best case scenario, give it 15 million. So now we locked up 45 million for next week
at the most
between Insidious and Joyride. Where's that other money going? Is anybody else going to the movies next week?
Indiana Jones is gonna make maybe 15 million for the weekend.
You say 15,
20 at the most.
That's a big drop. 75% drop from week 1 to 2.
Bro, who
with a holiday in between?
The holiday maybe helps it, but what I'm saying is, who didn't go see Indiana Jones that didn't want to see it already, right? If you love Indy,
if you care enough, you went. Yeah, I know. Even people I know who don't go to movies, but who, like people I work with who are older, say, "Oh, new Indiana Jones, yeah, I gotta go," and they went.
Yeah, there was an older man. He sat right next to us. couple seats down, and he was always like, "Oh, this guy probably loved Indiana Jones. Got to check out the new one. That's good. I'm glad to see him."
Older guy I work with who never goes to the movies came in today. Go, hey boy, did you see Indiana Jones? I went to the movie.
See?
You know, he's hyped.
Yeah, see, that's what I love. So that's what I mean. They saw it, bro. Who else is left? I'm telling you. We'll find out.
I did not get to see No Hard Feelings this week. I kept trying to fit it in. And then when I went to see Indiana Jones, I was like, oh, you know what? Let me get back online and just grab a ticket for No Hard Feelings. But it wasn't starting for like another hour and a half, and I wasn't going to wait. So I'm still going to try to get to it. Maybe 4th of July. Maybe I get to it. Maybe I got to it already.
Oh, maybe that's a good day. Maybe I'll go to the movies on 4th of July. Maybe I went to the movies, on 4th of July.
Maybe also. I did. Maybe I used the dial of destiny to go back in time and figure out. I'm sorry, the Antikythera. Antikythera I use, not the dial of destiny. We got to call the movie the dial of destiny. Yet we don't say that once in the fucking movie.
Never was.
Indiana Jones and the Antikythera.
That's why everyone be like, let me get a ticket for it.
I just go to Fandango.
But that's where you just go, Indiana Jones, please. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't say nothing else.
Gomez, we forgot to speak about something last week. It's on Disney Plus, the new Marvel series, Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
We are now 2 episodes in at this recording. And I got to tell you, I am bored as all fuck all with this fucking show.
So, like, it's not great. It's not that good. I wouldn't say it's terrible, but it is boring. Like, nothing. Like, there's a couple good things every episode. I'm like, all right, that was cool. But it's just, I get what they're going for, right? They're going for like this 90s spy thriller kind of thing. But you know what the problem is? No one cares about these fucking aliens. Correct. Why do we care about these people? This is a storyline that happened after years of them being in comics. Not, hey, they're in that one movie that everyone hates.
That everybody hates.
Everyone hates that fucking movie. So, you know, hey, we're going to make a show about them taking off. I say, oh, okay. I get, like, we don't care, bro. And that's the thing. I don't care about these people. I'm sorry. Samuel L. Jackson did you dirty. He ain't fucking get you a planet. I don't know if he tried hard enough. I don't know. I'm sorry. But what are you doing? Starting trouble. Come on.
Not for nothing. Not like Maria Hill was the biggest character in the MCU, but she was a link for a lot of stuff. And we just have this throwaway death in a scene that no one knows what we're even doing. What's happening? Is she even real at this point?
So we never know at this point in this show. Do you think they filmed that like, oh, this is going to be good. People are going to be so devastated that Maria Hill is dead. Like, do you think they thought that? Like, we gave a fuck about this character?
I honestly don't know. But at this point, she didn't even have like the cachet that Coulson did when he died. You know what I mean? No. When they kill Coulson in Avengers and you're like, oh, like you audibly gasp when Loki stabs him with the scepter. You're like, holy shit. Because Coulson had his quirks and he had his, between his interactions with Iron Man and Captain America, he was like this kind of lovable, geeky guy, you know, who was on your team and you knew was capable when the time came around, but he was like our nerd, you know? And with Maria Hill, she's been there, but she ain't done much.
Bro,
she's been in an awful lot of movies.
She's been in like 20
movies. Seconds of combined screen time.
5 minutes of total dialogue in 20 movies, probably. If even, bro. It's 100%. No one cares about these characters. So I like to see Samuel Jackson. He's doing his thing. But the rest is, I don't know. This is only 6 episodes, right? I think it's in like chunks. So like this is gonna end, I think, episode 3. Like, oh, okay, and then move it towards the end game here. But you know, they're quick enough that I'll continue watching. But I ain't enjoying it, I'll tell you that.
After episode 2, I was just like, why the fuck am I even watching this? Because you get like the scrolls of the round table, and now it's like it turns out like you don't know who's real, who's not. So even as a viewer, it's not like you're clued into anything where you're sympathizing for the good guy because they've almost made Samuel L. Jackson the bad guy. Like, why didn't he get these motherfuckers their planet? Of course I'd be pissed.
I mean, they're saying a lot of, as always, the villain ain't always wrong, right? The villain's speaking some truths here. You know, we might not agree with it because he's blowing our shit up, but I mean, you know, he feels
But like, we
wrong.
supposed to sympathize with the fact that the Skrulls blew up Moscow? Like, of all the places in the world?
We're supposed to be nervous about what's supposed to come next.
Like, yeah, like I guess so, but like I'm not looking at that going, you know, like we have enough shit happen here where it's like nothing, like Moscow does not hit close to home for the American viewer. You know what I mean?
No, bro, there's still a war going on, right? Like Russia is still
Like we're on the other side.
It's like, you know, I get it. Yeah, not good. Here, let's do some theory talk. Do you think our boy Buck, you know, home of the stereos, is he a Skrull, or you think he's like
Oh my god, you said Buck, and I had to think about it for a second. But oh my god.
Rhodey, oh boy.
Stop saying pornography. I'm an actor.
The best. Don Cheadle, the best. You think Don Cheadle is real? You think he's an alien?
See, but now this becomes the issue of the show because we know someone has to be on the inside, but then they show us all the world leaders having a roundtable meeting where they're already all Skrulls. So now what is just every single person except Sam Jackson a Skrull?
Seems like they've taken over quite a bit of
exactly
quite a bit. A little too much.
And as the viewer, because you're kept so far in the dark, it stops you from feeling like any compassion for anything. Like you don't like you at this point, it feels like literally everybody except Nick Fury is a Skrull, and it makes it very hard to watch a show where it's one man versus an entire universe worth of shapeshifters.
It's a hard thing to do because it turns into, is that person that? Because that was like in Game of Thrones, they did a thing where the faceless man, they could turn into anyone, right? And so it turned into, oh, is that person that? Oh, is that person that? Or you think that person's going to be? So just like, it kind of not ruin the experience, but it's like, well, that's not fun. Just trying to guess every single person is an alien. Like that's not fun. But it's supposed to be, right, the paranoid thriller. Oh my God, who can we trust?
Like the young kids who were spearheading the revolution on the Skrull side, I don't even find them like fun. Like, I shouldn't say fun. Fun's not the word because they're not going for fun. But it's just like I'm watching them and I'm just going, stop. Like, fucking, I'm not here to watch some whiny fucking teenagers feel like they're entitled to fucking whatever. Like, I'm done.
One last theory question. Nick Fury's wife, does he know that she's an alien? Because at the end, right, he opens the door and then she turns back in. Do you think Nick Fury hitting them green aliens, bro?
I think he definitely knows. I would think so.
He said something in the first episode. He was like, I know good looking Skrulls. So I think Nick Fury's a little horny for the Skrulls there. It's a lot of horniness recently in the Marvel.
A lot of horniness in the Marvel universe.
Especially when it comes to green people. What is it with green and horny? What's going on?
I'm green with horniness. So yeah, Secret Invasion. If you haven't watched it already, man, I wouldn't even get started.
No rush. Yeah. Maybe when they all drop or something.
There has been some Marvel rumors out there, JoeMeZ.
Oh, what's
the upcoming series Echo.
Oh,
it is absolutely fucking trash, and it has been heavily considered to just throw it in the vault and write it off.
The last I heard about Echo was that they were going to drop all the episodes at once. Like they weren't even going to try. So basically a dump because they don't do that.
No.
So
I believe that they've done a massive amount of reshoots to try to rescue this show in some form. But it does not seem like. But once again, we're back to who cares about these fucking characters.
It was the show no one asked for. Like I understand what you're trying to do, but no, like she was fine in the show in the Hawkeye. She was fine. Not good enough that she needs a show. A storyline wasn't compelling.
I can't imagine anyone watching that and go, "That's the fucking show we need." I don't know where they got this from.
Unbelievable. Well, Marvel not doing so good, folks. These shows, they're gonna be coming to an end real soon.
They have to. There's just no way around it.
I mean, but like after low key, yeah, everything else is like, there's no season 2 of this, there's no season 2 of that. So I
We're
don't
not
think
getting
gonna be
Agatha
good.
at this point.
No.
If they're having this many problems with Echo, I can't imagine them putting out Ironheart.
Yeah, I mean that's
and because everybody hated. She was the worst part of Wakanda Forever.
Yes, because there was no need for it. I get you want to introduce the character, but you could just introduce her. You didn't have to have her be around so much, and totally felt shoehorned in there. But hey, that's what they want, right? That's what they want.
But let's move on to our modified main event. Unless you have something else, Gomez.
No, baby. Let's go. Let's get into it.
Modified main event of the evening. Michael Jonathan Gomez, did you watch Muscles and Mayhem, an unauthorized American Gladiators documentary on Netflix?
I watched 4.5 episodes. I got like a little left of the last episode, but I watched it, baby.
God, does this not blow the ESPN 30 for 30 out of the fucking water? From the first episode, the first few minutes, you're like, this is what I wanted.
This is the biggest problem we had. We didn't hate the other one, but we were like, bro, where's the gladiators? We want the fucking gladiators. Like, this is what we want. Instead, we just get this old Elvis dude just telling us bullshit. And then we search for some other guy in the fucking like, what are we doing?
So apparently, ESPN bought this American Gladiators documentary, but they didn't want to pay the gladiators to have any involvement in it. So Nitro spearheaded this thing and sold something to Netflix where people were actually going to get paid. Yeah. And ESPN now has to fill that spot with something. So that's what they get. We got the Johnny Ferraro story, which compared to this is fucking terrible.
Who gives
I will go back and watch Muscles and Mayhem on Netflix again, definitely, because we got the fucking nuts and bolts, the dirt, the sleaze, the stuff we want directly from the gladiators. And it is awesome.
100%. This is what we want. We want the gladiators telling us story, telling us what it was like to be there. This was great. What a great documentary, baby.
And it's 5 episodes. They're all about anywhere from like 45 minutes to an hour each.
Sure.
And they break it down really well. Chronologically, they tell you the story of how this show came into existence, how it was casted. There's so much stuff that could have been talked about in that ESPN doc that was just completely left out. Like the whole first season where they're filming on a dirt rodeo horse track or whatever. And they called it the Dark Ages. And they're like, making the gladiators take bumps in horse shit. Yeah. Like that's all stuff that you could have told us and you could have spoken about. And it was just left out so we could hear about fucking fat Elvis impersonator talk about how he's a genius.
How he came up with everything.
It's so frustrating because here we have such a good amount of personalities, and we had Gemini in the other one, and Gemini was in this one. We didn't get as much Malibu in this one, but apparently Malibu wasn't very well liked by the other gladiators, it turns out. We thought Malibu was a nice, sweet man out of the...
Seemed like a good time, bro.
And basically, they were just like, oh, that dude couldn't take a hit.
Oh, it's so good.
But we had the top guys. We had Nitro. We had Gemini. We had Zap. We had Ice. The Stars.
Blaze.
Yeah, and it was all of them. It was all the ones you remember.
That you would be like, oh, yes. As soon as they pop on the screen, you go, oh, my God. You don't have to remember their name. And then you go, oh, my God. Yes, I remember her. Oh, shit. 100%. Yep. This is what you wanted.
And it talks about the show. It talks about the filming. It talks about money, the way they basically walked out. Because I remember it was like a big deal when all of a sudden there was no more Nitro and there was no more Zap. It was, oh, who are these fucking weird gladiators now? Like, that was a big deal. Like, they were stars. And I think we get caught up with that, especially wrestling. You know, it's very similar to professional wrestling
100%.
in the sense that everybody thinks it's the brand that sells the shows. And to a big extent, it is. Like, oh, I'm going to go see American Gladiators live. Let me buy a ticket. You know, I'm going to go see WWE live. Let me go buy a ticket. And you don't know who's going to be on that show. You buy your ticket so early in advance. You don't know who the main event is, how many matches you're getting. They might not give you anything. You don't know. You're just buying a ticket to go see WWE. If they decide to put a midget on a bicycle driving around laps around Madison Square Garden, that's what you paid for.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, so and it's card subject to change. So they could say, hey,
hey, we never promised you nothing.
But this was one of the cases where it turned out that the star power what made this show. It was people were tuning in to see these gladiators. And listen, I love their outfits. Everything about American Gladiators worked. It was perfect for its time. It was a moment in time. Yes. I don't know that it's something you can do today in an authentic manner. It would probably have to be kind of goofy, like an American Ninja Warrior to some extent, to make sure people aren't getting busted wide open.
Yes, I can only imagine that.
You know, even when they talk about doing the arena tour. Now, in the ESPN doc, they talk about doing the dinner theater in Orlando. Yeah. In this, we actually get conversation about when they went on tour and they bust around working arenas all over the country. Yeah. They would have legitimate American Gladiator show at Madison Square Garden and other arenas around the country.
Awesome. And
they're bringing in local contestants who were just trying out for these shows, not getting paid, not getting anything. They just wanted to test their luck against the Gladiators.
Wouldn't you? Come on.
I mean, yeah, I would, but I'd also, if you're going to sell 20,000 tickets at the Garden, maybe hit me with $1,000 to be.
I agree. Yes, you should definitely $500. Here you go, kid. Like Spider-Man.
Even the guy that gets dressed up as a security guard and breaks up the Brock Lesnar Cody Rhodes fight gets paid a couple $100.
Yes, he does. We talked about how this show started because of a writer's strike, right? But also the NFL strike, bro. These guys were scabs, bro. Unbelievable.
Nitro and Laser met while being scabs for the Los Angeles Rams during the NFL strike in '82, I believe.
So crazy, bro. They became best of friends. He said he saw this big muscle guy, said, I got to be friends with this guy.
You know what it reminded me of? Ted Lasso and Coach Beard.
Hysterical.
One was the backup kicker. One was the backup punter. And because they sat around next to each other, they became best of friends.
That's so funny.
And then Ted offered him a chance for a job and a life, and Coach Beard took it.
Yes, he did. Thank you, Ted.
And then Nitro went to Laser and offered him a chance for a job and a life, and Laser took it.
Became roommates. Got into a lot of shenanigans. Good shit. I love it. I love them talking about their friendship and stuff. It was fun.
It was good. I genuinely enjoyed that because I especially love like when Nitro would be like, oh yeah, I didn't hook up with any of the female gladiators. I don't shit where I eat. And then literally every single woman called bullshit on it.
Like, that's bullshit. He tried. He just didn't get away with anything. It's great. They did a great job.
Even the drug testing stories where they were like scared shitless about being tested for steroids. And then they get told, hey, wink, wink, you're going to have a drug test in 4 weeks. Wink, wink. You know, like, here's time. Get off the fucking sauce for a month.
That's the responsible thing to do. You got it. Bro, you can't fire your whole cast. So you got to be like, hey, boys, next month, we're starting a drug testing policy, okay?
I absolutely love this documentary. Once I started it, it was like, I have to see what's next. I could not stop until I was finished with this. Even the last episode, and you said you haven't finished it yet, it becomes sad because the big four, you know, the Mount Rushmore, Gemini, Nitro, Ice, and Zap, go to the office and say, hey, we want more money. We want merchandising. Like, we're being paid shit. And they were like, oh, you're fired. And it's like, you either come to work or you don't have a job. And they were like, well, we're not coming to work. And then they had nothing because they never saw $1 out of fucking
Crazy
lunch boxes. They never saw $1 out of action figures. Any of the merchandise that came out that their face was plastered all over, never saw $1 out of it, which is fucking bullshit. And then you have like the producers of the show come in and go, I don't know what they think it was worth. It wasn't that much money. But man, if you have a fucking action figure deal with Mattel, it's not that much money.
100%.
If you're in fucking every Toys R Us and KB and whatever else, it's not that much money. If you're on fucking lunch boxes for children and whatever else, what other party favors and knickknacks and tchotchkes you could fucking throw an American Gladiators logo or throw some of these Gladiators faces on, it's not that much money. You could have fucking opened the bank a little bit. You chose not to and be some fucking real scumbags.
Did you know anyone who had American Gladiator toys? I never really met anyone that had any action figures.
Oh yeah, I didn't have them as a kid, but I knew a bunch of people who did.
Yeah, I never. Yeah. No one ever had that. I was like, oh man, I would have loved American Gladiator toys.
Bro, they're number one. They're almost like WCW Galoob figures in the sense that they're like that kind of 4-inch.
They were like weird size,
poses. But the play sets, like there's a joust play set that's like badass. There's an eliminator,
so cool.
Like there's cool shit. It's gone up now because of both documentaries.
Sure.
But they were like reasonably priced for a while. Also, a licensed Nintendo video game.
Love that video game. That game I played. I love that game. I still play it every once in a while. I always thought it was fun.
There was no mention really of the announcers, Mike Adam Lee, Larry Zonka.
Yeah, they show pictures and they show clips of them, but they never really talk about them at all.
Yeah, kind of odd there because they were a big part of the show to me.
Sure, they're selling the show, yeah.
And the other thing that it didn't bother me, but I wish they would have done like a little remembrance to the couple of the gladiators who have passed away. Siren and I forget the others, but I believe there's 3 or 4 that have passed away at this point, and they kind of just skip over all that. Also, if you notice, Saber wasn't involved in this one after he was heavily profiled in the ESPN doc. He felt like if you've ever seen the Rise and Fall of ECW DVD that WWE put out, God knows how long now, probably
years ago.
Probably 17 years. That led up to the first One Night Stand. One of the heaviest featured guys in that documentary is Stevie Richards. And it's like, Stevie's a part of it for sure, but they made Stevie out to be a way bigger part of ECW than he really was. And that's how Saber was on the ESPN doc. It was like, you're making Saber out to be a way bigger part of this. And then it comes out to this, and it's like, yeah, he doesn't even show up until like season 4. And
it's true. It's so funny. They have to, bro. No one wanted to do that other one, right? So they're like, "Fuck this. We got to find someone."
If you're gonna do it, get paid.
That's it. They don't give a fuck. Yeah. Oh, I'll get to talk shit for an hour or 2. Sure, I'll come in.
Oh, let's hit some music, Gomez. Why not? Are you a man? A double main man? Are you a man? A triple main man? A man? A quadruple main man? Are you our man? Are you our man?
All right. What's this called? Muscles? What's this thing?
Muscles and Mayhem, an unauthorized American Gladiators documentary, 5-episode series on Netflix.
Main man standings, Joe. What are you thinking here?
5 stars! One for each episode. Quintuple main man. This rules. I wanted to love that ESPN 30 for 30 so
of course.
Bad. And then
we were so excited.
It was over, you felt like shafted after that second part because they kind of teased that they're coming at you with like the good juice,
all right,
the good gas. And then it's like, oh, but like let's talk about Dan Carr. It's like, Dan Carr? Like, what the fuck are we? Dan Carr? We talking about Dan Carr. Not Nitro, not Ice. We talking about Dan Carr. Not Zap. Not Gemini, not Storm. We talking Dan Carr. That's what you spent an hour. Dan Carr. We talking Dan Carr. Nonsense. And I walk out of there going, I want to like this, but I just can't. I don't have it in me. And then Netflix was like, baby girl, come nestle in and suckle at the teat of our unauthorized American Gladiator documentary. And I was so horny for Netflix after this, in the spirit of the Skrulls, in the spirit of the Hulk. I was like, God damn it, thank you, Netflix. I was so goddamn happy after watching 5 episodes of this. I would have fucked the goddamn wall if it had a vagina. This fucking thing rules. 5 stars, quintuple main man.
I'm gonna give it a 4. This thing is fantastic. If you're into American Gladiators, you should watch this. This is what you want. Don't even bother watching that ESPN one.
No, burn it at the stake at this point.
I get it. It's a 30 for 30. Oh, those are so good. Not that one. I like the other. I thought it was fine. But after seeing this, that one fucking stinks compared to it. It's fucking trash. This one, this is where it's at. This is where the big boys play, boys.
Goddamn right, Gomez.
Definitely check it out. 100%. If you have any interest in American Gladiators, this is for you. You're gonna watch the first episode, go, oh man, I gotta watch you're gonna burn through that shit. So good. Oh, I love it. So happy.
So what do we got going on for next week?
Well, I mentioned, the top 2 movies. Nothing really that I think we need to run out and go see. So I think it's time to bring out the wheel. Yeah, folks. It's the Wheel of Superheroes. What wonderful superhero movie are we going to watch this week? Let's find out. Let's see what we got here. Oh, fudge. Here we go. Oh, brother. So, folks, for those of you who aren't watching, it landed on the 1994 unreleased Roger Corman's Fantastic Four. Oh, baby. Obviously, this is a hard-to-find movie. I have it, of course. It will be on the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/JoeMeZ movie. Come on by this weekend. It's going to be playing 24 hours. You know how we do. Even number, odd number. I'll put out a tweet. Hopefully, the rates will not be exceeded, and you could read what time it's coming out. But yeah, it'll be on Twitch all weekend, folks. Oh, this is gonna be fun. You ever see this, Joe? I imagine you have not.
I have not
ever
seen this.
come cross paths. This is a big deal. They made a whole movie with a guy. Roger Corman. He's known for making movies I like
yes,
B movies. So they let this man actually do a Fantastic Four. Unbelievable. Who thought this was a good idea?
Apparently the wheel did.
So here we go, folks. I'm excited. This is a good one. Oh boy, you excited? Come on.
If I was any more excited, I'd have to be twins just to handle it.
Come on. You're not interested to see how good this movie was, that they were scared to release it to the public because it would melt their minds?
I bet you I love it.
You might, bro. Imagine Joe's like, bro, I can't believe it, but this
is the Fantastic Four we deserve.
Oh, so fucking funny. Yep. All right, folks. So there you go. That's next week's movie. We can't get to that one until we wrap this up, huh, Joe?
So let's hit it.
It's now time for the big finish.
Oh, baby, it's time to spin another wheel. Love it. Let's see. How are we going to end this week's episode? Let's spin that wheel. Oh, okay. Today's big finish, Joseph. My Chemical Romance songs. Ooh, this would be interesting. Here we go.
Hey, it really sucks that you're dead.
Yes, the former end music of our podcast here. Dead. It's great. It's got to be on the list.
That's from Guitar Hero Part 2.
Oh, man. That's a fun song to play. It is.
Guitar Hero 2 was just such a great game. Right game, right time, just right everything.
You don't think number 3 was that point? Number 3, I feel, was just a
no. I think three was good, but like 2 was the jump off.
I miss when they made Metallica. I love that, a whole fucking Guitar Hero, just Metallica.
Van Halen.
Oh man, they did Arrows. It was good. I like that shit. Green Day, they gave a whole bunch of them. All right, My Chemical Romance.
My number one My Chemical Romance song is Helena. The opening track off of 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge, which is a great album. Love that song.
I mean, I gotta have Black Parade. I mean, come on. I mean, that's just the iconic. That's my shit. Who don't love Black Parade, baby? Come on.
Oh man, they have a cover of Under Pressure, which is really good, by David Bowie.
That is a very good cover. Yes.
It pops into my head. I don't know. Would it make my top 3? I don't know, but another one, kind of less known song, The Sharpest Lives, which is off the Black Parade album. That's a big one for me, so I'm gonna put that at number 2. So we'll go Helena, Sharpest Lives, and then oh geez,
look at you.
There's a lot of songs that I like. That they have a lot of fucking songs that I like. So I'm gonna go on that na 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 song. Why not? Take up the 3 spot.
There we go. Black Parade, Dead, and Helena. Why not? That's it. The hits, bro.
It. Solid.
You love it.
Sometimes you gotta go chalk.
Bro, the hits are hits for a reason. God damn. Joseph, hit him with them plugs. Let's get out of here.
Thank you guys for listening to the JoeMeZ podcast. Remember to hit that subscribe wherever it is that you are taking in this show. Leave a 5-star review. Give a thumbs up and some comments on the YouTube. Leave a follow us on all the social media at JoeMeZ if your rate limit hasn't yet been exceeded. Follow all my stuff at The Joe Shoes. Maybe pick up one of these shirts. Hopefully the 4th of July sale is still going on. 20% off at prowrestlingtees.com/Joe Shoes. And of course, youtube.com/Joe Shoes.
Yes, the Gomez 154. Definitely on Instagram. Who knows about Twitter? My goodness, who knows? And all these things that are popping up, they're all invite only. You can't get on Blue Sky because you don't got an invite. You can't get on Spill because you ain't got an invite. What are we doing?
And I tried signing up for Blue Sky months ago, and I'm still on the waiting list.
Ridiculous, bro. Unbelievable. And don't forget to check my Twitch feed. This is going to be important this week if you want to play along. This is not going to be one you can find, folks. Fantastic Four, 1994 unreleased version of this movie, unreleased film, period, on my Twitch, twitch.tv/Mez movie, all weekend long.
All that and more on a very action-packed episode of the JoeMeZ podcast next week. But for now, Gomez, let's make like Tom and cruise.
Peace.